KEMPER PROFILER, Tones and Talks, Season 3. We're doing it now. We are changing a little bit the style, not being too much technical anymore. Well, still technical, but more focusing on tone and concepts and stuff like that. So, and for the first time, I will be the one talking a little bit about a rig. Nevertheless, Mr. Thomas Dill, the master of all details KEMPER Profiler and profiling, is with us again. Big honor. Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
All is well?
Getting cold in the middle of Germany.
Yeah, here in the north as well. Talking about tone, how did we come to this? Well, you suggested that I should maybe share a concept of mine, and it's slightly different from what I think you are doing, but we're in completely different situations. So whenever you feel like it, please ask. Please ask, because I am basically working with one profile for everything, except for when I'm doing more like metal stuff. And this profile here is a Tube Thomson amp profile. The international people might not know about the amp maker Tube Thomson. Niels Thomson, he is not with us anymore. RIP, he was a great guy, and he built, amongst others, even amp heads for the Scorpions and the likes. His brand was Tube Thomson, and when we were actually showcasing the profiler for the first time officially in Hamburg back in the day, you won't believe it. It's we're talking about August 2011, where we met Benny Young for the first time as well, who later became a guitar player playing the great arena shows, and he's currently with the Udo Lindenberg Panic Orchestra, also an arena and stadium act. And he was playing the profiler in public for the first time. And in between, we did some workshops back at Number One Guitars in Hamburg, Altona, pretty famous for their dealings with vintage guitars and things like this. And they had a Tube Thomson Arrowhead head with a cabinet in their amp room. And Arrowhead, you must know that there's also a pretty famous guitar player called Markus Demel, who happened to have a project, a band that was called Arrowhead, and an album called Arrowhead. And they were basically playing, how would you call it? It was a full band, people, humans playing, but they were doing basically techno electronic backings with electronic drums and bass and synthesizers, and he was making instrumental guitar music on top of that. And I thought that was one of the best instrumental guitar albums that came out in, I think it was the 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Late 90s. And I saw him live with his band at Brotfabrik in Frankfurt after Music Messe, and this was amazing. And I think the band was Planet Earth or something like this was their name, and they were the backing band when every once in a while the techno DJ Sven Väth was doing stuff live. I think, and you know the bass player.
Yes.
Say again the name.
Oliver Poschmann.
Olli Poschmann, right? Exactly.
He's now in London playing theater shows, musical shows. He's quite successful there.
Yeah, awesome player. And so, long story short, and Tube Thomson, Niels Thomson built for Markus Demel that top, this amp top, 3-channel, lead, crunch, and clean. And we didn't have much time, and I was just throwing, that's a true story, an SM57 with a long cable to the next room, and a long guitar cable into the next room, and plugged it in and did basically a version of liquid profiling, because I just dialed in some basic crunch tone and most probably everything was on 12 o'clock, and I just did a impromptu profile just once before the next person came in to who wanted to know a little bit more about the profiler. But I had that profile. So long story short, I worked on that, tweaked it, whatever. I really liked it. And fast forward 2014 or so, when we met Erland Krauser. Most probably you guys know about Erland Krauser, this amazing tapping artist who has a couple of successful YouTube videos out there. And well, we did some videos, and the tone was really cool. And I don't know, it was a year in when we talked about that. And he was then actually saying that he is playing a Tube Thompson profile he found on the Rig Exchange. And that was basically my profile that I did like drive-by wise at Number One Guitars in Hamburg. So that was, of course, an honor. And so I revisited every once in a while and tweaked it a little bit. And yeah, because I do a lot of stuff in the studio and I do singer-songwriter stuff for myself. I just need, I only have a very overseeable need for guitar tones. And I stuck with this Tube Thompson profile. And the only thing I did to modernize it was I was adding a Tue EVH cabinet, an IR I took from a Tue Madsen profile. And then I upgraded it to basically the liquid profile system with adding a tone stack of a Marshall Plexi, the normal one. That's basically it, but that's just recent. So long story short, let's have a look and let's have a listen. Let's have a listen first. Well, that's clean. Clean sound, basically. Let's say it's not with the acoustic simulator, but to have this acoustic guitar-like tone. And I have this delay and this cirrus reverb going on, and when I simply switch the guitar to the bridge pickup. Yes.
Oh, did you only switch the pickups?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me see. Lost my pick. Before I show you the rig, first of all, I think so. Like when I'm here, you can see the switch, right?
Yes.
Here? Oh, let me do it like this. So here you see the switch. By the way, a big part of this is also this is a Dan Electro, as you can see, obviously. But I pimped this with two Seymour Duncan hot rails. These are single coil humbuckers, and I pimped it with Duesenberg less trem.
Great tremolo.
And it's just I took the strings through these holes which were in this standard Dan Electro bridge and brought it over, and for just some
spaghetti western style.
Yeah, it's fine. So, and I have this switch in here, which is the how do you call it? It's the quad switch, because it's not a normal toggle switch. It has 2 levels, downstairs and upstairs. Upstairs is a single coil front, this one. Single coil bridge, and then it's humbucker. Humbucker here. And of course, you've seen it. I just dialed the volume down. And with this one here, try this at home. This is only possible with the profiler and some other, well, secret sauce that might be known out there, maybe not. I dialed the volume down very much so that I'm clean. That's the humbucker, totally open. This is the humbucker on the neck. Because some things are a little bit special. Can you see that?
Yes.
You see the rig manager? Okay. Yeah. Then I move over a little bit back to the rig manager. What I have done so far is nothing special. Let's dial back the volume. I'm on the volume is down for the single coil on the neck. You see here, the mouse?
Yeah.
Can you see the mouse?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so bass, middle, treble, presence, nothing fancy. I added the tone stack here, the Mars Plexi, the normal one, because it sounds a little bit more, it has a little bit more thump as the original profile I had. And yeah, that's basically it. Here's a little bit of definition dialed in. I use the compressor here a lot in the M section because with this compressor I can set the volume basically between the clean sound. If I take it back. And yeah, that's basically it. What I have here, which is a special thing, I have a pure booster, which you can see says minus 2.7 for this guitar. And I have this compressor in here, which is, well, some squash. The rest is pretty decent. With a little bit of sending a volume push to the amp. That's what the compressor does. If I take it away. Here's another pure booster. Here's a tremolo for that. And we've seen the amp, and here's well, that's another thing. The rotary.
Yeah.
in stereo. Very rarely I use that. And I have a little bit of equalizer here, low cut, which I have morphed, as you can see. And you will know why soon, because for the clean sound, I'd like to have a little bit more oomph. For the distortion stuff, that's not so helpful. And then I have the delay, and I have this cirrus reverb because I like it, because he has this little bit of shimmer option on top. Most of the time the guitar is just on its own without too much instruments going on in my case. So I have this, you have this cloud you're basically living in, and it's not so obvious, only if then you hear them. So what I use for other situations is a second, well, I have 4 gain stages basically through this. Because if I switch off this booster, I have more gain.
You need to explain why it's more gain.
Because this pure booster, which doesn't anything to the tone, just when it's engaged, it's lowering the signal volume. And because of my clean sound, now it's clean. When I switch it off, it gets a little bit more oomph, but it very close to the basic distortion, which is now what you're hearing now is just the amp with a little bit of the compressor, for example. And if I engage the booster, I'm clean again, just with one.
Some kind of anti-boost in that setting.
Right.
0.7.
Right. That's basically expanding the rolling of the volume knob on the guitar.
Great.
I because I'm close to total closure here on my guitar already, and I add this minus 2.7 to lowering even more. And that's something, let's just check here a little bit conversationally, and that's something I've tried this with a lot of other, what did we call them last time? Guitar amp substitution devices. This thing by, going lower in terms of input as the guitar is capable of, so to say, to get really, a clean signal out of that, basically slightly distorted amp. And usually all the other devices start to crackle and you hear one bit falling over the other bit because the resolution is not so great. And the other thing is that the noise level also, of course, you can imagine if you run a it's not entirely cranked, but it's half up the crunch channel, like this. It's, I would call it basic AC/DC level of distortion in a way. And you don't hear any noise when I switch back to this situation here. And when I switch off the pure boost, let me just share again. So when I switch off the pure boost, this makes it pretty spanky, thanks to the liquid profile to the tone stack now. just with that gain stage. So the next one would be, well, I have this other booster here that's also just a pure booster and adding like 5 dB or plus 5, whatever. And that's also now I'm on the single coil setting on the bridge with the volume down. And let me just again show you a little bit what I'm doing on the guitar here, because that's also for rhythmic stuff slightly distorted. So it's a little bit filtered.
Mhm.
And now I can single coil still. Second pure booster off. First pure booster in. I haven't touched the amp. It's just boosting and unboosting. And the next thing would be, now if I share this again so that you can see what I'm doing. And the next situation is just this one and switch off this one. I guess you get the idea. You have gain up the wazoo, and I have headphones on here, no speakers on in this
Yeah.
place.
So feedback is coming from the boost.
So you can, by just getting your vibrato shops into a steady quality, you can hold the tone with that. And yeah, that's basically my ultimate rig for everything, because you have heard that just by changing the stuff here on the guitar with the volume knobs, you were traveling through different various typical worlds. And just to finish this up, let me just mute the guitar for a moment. So I'm just showing that it's not entirely because of the guitar, because I have this thing here, and the question is if that's still the typical guitar with that rig. And that's the middle pickup, and these are old 90s, early 2000s humbuckers, Squire, single coils, of course, Squire single coils. And this is the Seymour Duncan. I don't know which one. The volume is on 1.5. For example, that's with the Strat, and I don't know, I have to check what do I have on here. So the pure boost in the front is on, so it's -2, and the other one is now disabled as well. Now you can do so. Nothing happened.
Very impressive.
Nothing happened. So that's something that's only possible, as far as I know. It's only possible with a profiler, because you're running from, I don't know, if somebody would measure the levels, we have the full boost, the pure boost on full, then the gain morphed to the max, and switched off the first pure booster, and then we have a little bit of boost also out of the compressor. So, but as you heard as well, the noise is just, except for when the morphing of the gain is full on, there's no noise basically, and I can create tracks immediately. I just have my guitar, I have this just one profile, and I have, of course, the boosters, the pure boosters. I have switches I have on switches, and I can quickly change the tone by just changing the gain situation on the guitar versus the gain situation of the amp. And you can work so ultra fast because you don't have switched to a different amp. You can get from the surf tones to whatever. And yeah, that's my take on get your basic set of tools that you can work with no distractions. Because you can do funk stuff, like acoustic guitar stuff and rock stuff. And only for metal, I rely on, shout out to Guido Bungenstock, I rely on one of his profiles. I haven't decided yet on his new liquid profiles yet, but I had this old diesel head. I also used that one for the Profiler Stage demo track we did back in the day. Yeah, so that's about it. Any questions or what do you think?
Great concept. Absolutely great concept. Just one rig to rule them all. So and a really wide sound changing stuff to go from these ultra clean and let's say some like 80s sound with a bit of modulation. Does the modulation come from the delay? Yes.
There's no modulation. Only when I switched on the rotary, there was modulation.
Oh. Okay.
There is no modulation except for a little bit of, bending also the chords, because the compressor helps there as well. Because if you can get a little bit more live into the chords and stuff.
And from me is what effects do you switch on and off from the remote when you play live?
I must admit, I haven't played live with the Profiler yet at all. When I play live with my stuff, I don't switch only for, I switch for one song because that's where it came from. I will lower the reverb and the delay a little bit generally for live, and for recording I usually switch it off as well completely, because I tend to add the effects, delay and reverb afterwards during mixing. But usually I just switch on. That's how it started. I switch on and off the first booster, which takes the volume down.
Yeah.
Because my stuff is basically, singer-songwriter on steroid stuff. It's a little bit beats and bass, and I have the guitar on, the guitar volume on 2 or 3, doing the clean stuff. Basically playing accompaniment guitar that could be acoustic guitar. Then I crank it. Then I open it up if there are some lines in between, breaks or little riffs or for the intro. And when there's a solo, I only switch off the first booster. That's where it came from. If I need to be a little bit of, in the fiddling around mode, but I like to keep it generally pretty much even below John Mayer level, because especially the female parts of the audience usually are not too much into widdly. It's more about the songs, but I have to every once in a while. It's my
you need to let come.
I let the beast out. I need to let the beast out in between just for a moment, and then I go back. So basically, I can play the entire gig with just one, with this sound, and with one guitar, switching just the pickups and work with the volume knob, and only hit the solo thing for once. I had a wah back in the day, a Morley with a boost switch and the filter. That's how I boosted the the modeler with that. I had a J station, Johnson J station, and now the profiler does this in reverse basically, and that's very very convenient. And yeah, so far, as I said, the profiler is the only thing that can do that to that extent.
Yes.
Try this with other modelers. I have, if something goes wrong, I have some devices that would be able to would enable me to finish a show, no problem, anywhere. But it has not that degree of noiseless situation when I close the guitar, and it's not so clean, but it's all right. And I have to switch more. That's the thing. I have Havari device, as we call it, that has 4 switches, and I need 3 then to go through, because the dynamic range is not that big, but it works. Yeah, and for recording, as I said, that's amazing. And yeah, the booster I hit, and if I want to go crazy, but that's not a part of my my act that exists, this electronic singer-songwriter stuff. When I jam with people, I every once in a while hit the morph button to go crazy, and well, maybe I switch on the rotary for some things, but that's it. Usually it's just that one button, or even just only the guitar with that rig. And if you guys are interested, please let me know. I'm happy to share. It's that, $1 million rig. So anyone comes up, no. Just let me know, because basically the Tube Thomson is up on the rig exchange, but it's not that rig with all the edits. But
Yeah, but these tweaks are great.
I'll be happy to share that with me, with you guys.
I really like the use. This is something which I don't do. So I'm the traditional guy. Boost is to get louder, to get more gain. So you do it the different way, so to get lower gain. It's great use for a booster.
Yeah, you know what? That's ridiculous how many times that took, because we talked about the monolyzer, right? Do you remember? Because I created that pedal that added another level of just guitar volume, to decrease the guitar volume, because I needed to go, because in the range from 1.5 to 0 on the guitar volumes, it's pretty difficult to revisit a certain position.
Yeah.
And so I was working with additional volume pods, and I have this little pedal created for this, where when I hit it, it's just activating that volume pod. But that's, I mean, carry on an external pedal just for this, for a gig, that's just not practical. And well, for here at home, it's no problem at all. But yeah, I wanted to have it simple and just focus on playing and which pickup I need, and the lyrics, and the audience. And because every pedal, every switch takes you away from the audience if you're alone on stage, and I don't like that. And that's how I came with. Well, first I tried with the volume pedal, and I tried to dial in the range and put the volume before everything. But that was not so convenient, because I would hit the pedal for just turning it fully back or fully to the top, and this was a little bit clunky for this. Another item you need to schlep around, and another cable that can break. So I just came up with the idea, wait a minute, there's this booster, and Christoph, this genius person he was so genius to make a booster pedal that goes from -5 to +5, and not a booster pedal from 0 to wherever. That's because everything goes from 0 to wherever, and nothing from -5 to +5. And this is just pure genius, because I haven't found something like this on any other device yet. And you can do with the drive pedals in other
Drive
models.
pedals, when you they normally have the volume set to noon, so leveled gain, and then you go back. You
Yeah.
can do that a little bit, but this is very easy with the pure booster.
Yeah, because it doesn't change the tone.
Yes.
And you have the full tonality of the guitar. It doesn't cut anything from the frequencies. Only you can cut from the frequencies. And so you're much more in charge with your playing, the way you attack and pick and stuff like that. You finger things, how it actually sounds. And yeah, so that was genius. And then I was experimenting with a booster pedal, because I learned through you, because you get so many great tones with stacking the boosters. And but for me, I realized it's too much always. And then I tried, well, do the bullshit thing and add another booster pedal, and there it was. So I have these minus boosts, the plus boost, the minus boost with the plus boost, because tone wise it's different.
Yes.
And no minus boost with the plus boost, and then go full crazy with the crank gain with the morphing. And yeah, as you've seen, reverb and delay are just, they are pretty mundane. You can switch them off, and the rotary is just for, rotary, and the tremolo for
Some sugar,
when the black hat, when the black Stetson goes on. No, the white Stetson. No, the good guys are the ones with the white Stetsons. Yeah, so that's about it. And let me know if you want to have it. And if you don't have any more questions, I would wrap this up. But maybe because you brought a guitar as well.
Yes. I think we should go to the next into the next episode with all this boost stuff, because I have a little bit more to tell about boosters and some detailed nerdy stuff. So I think we should wrap it up at that time.
Awesome. So, okay, people, thanks for bearing with us, especially with me this time, talking about this special approach. And as I said, try this at home. If you want to have a look at it, let me know. And yeah, thank you, Thomas, for being interested.
Yeah, thank you for telling this great stuff, and yeah, telling some different approach to get a great guitar tone.
Yeah, and well, I have to, before we go, have to do a big shout out towards Thomas Bluk. You know Thomas Bluk, the creator of the EMP1. Because when I met Thomas back in the day, I was doing some stuff for use in Kettners in the 90s. I learned from him, the use of the volume knob, because he is a master of that. It's just amazing. And I realized, because I had this gem, and it was always on. I never thought of lowering the volume knob, because I wanted to have every boost I can. And then I had this fizzy 80s clean tones. And now working more with the volume knob, it opened a completely different world. And I learned this through watching and being able to be close to Thomas for a longer time. So yeah, thanks again if you see that. And now I finally shut up, and we'll see you in the next episode, when Thomas still is saying, look at all the pedals I have here.
To boost or not to boost?
Yeah, all right. So thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Bye.